We move on to the next session, which is the leadership keynote on the future of customer experience. And our keynote speaker is Mr. Prashanjit Roy, who is the Senior Executive Vice President and CMO, NTT NetMagic. Mr. Prashanjit Roy has more than 2.5 decades of corporate experience on the business side, spanning across several multinationals in India and abroad. He is an accomplished and dynamic strategic marketing and strategy specialist covering a wide spectrum of industry sectors, including financials, telecom, manufacturing, information technology, startups, and other verticals. He is the winner of several industry awards like Most Iconic Marketing Professional, Most Influential Marketing Technology Leader, CMO of the Year, Enterprise IT CMO, Asia's Top 50 Brand Leaders, amongst many others. He has an advanced degree in engineering and business management and is also a postgraduate, done a postgraduate certificate course in modern information systems from IIT Mumbai. I warmly welcome you, Mr. Prashanjit Roy, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the Q&A box. In case you have any questions, kindly post them in the box so that we can take them at the end of the session. I now hand over the session to Mr. Prashanjit Roy, sir, for the keynote on the future of customer experience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rakhi. Am I audible, Rakhi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the kind introduction. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that was really a very passionate presentation by Ralph. Thanks for it. Is my presentation up, Rakhi? Okay, yeah, thanks. Hope all of you are doing fine and keeping yourselves safe as we navigate through the phase which is unprecedented in our lifetimes. I'm really privileged to speak to you on a theme that is very close and dear to me, the future of CX in a B2B environment. I would like to set the ball rolling with a very short video. Would request if the video could be played, please.
Most crucially, it's made everyday activities easier and faster. But these improved functions, though they're convenient, have provoked a new need for finding fulfillment in brand experiences. In many ways, though, technology can also address that need. Empowered by automation, people are shifting their attention away from traditional brand interactions. Artificial intelligence takes care of routine tasks so they can focus on more meaningful activities. People are becoming more than just customers. They want to be contributors, able to participate as partners with companies they engage with. But that doesn't mean they'll agree with everything companies do. Energized by technology, markets of individual customers can easily band together to form hyper-opinionated mobs, directly affecting businesses. That's why it's crucial for businesses to stand for something. Customers are becoming less concerned with product value and more concerned with the company's dedication to their core values. Customer behavior is shifting rapidly. It's up to executives to evolve with them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Customer behavior is shifting rapidly and evolving, as we just saw in the video. Here are some questions for all of us to ponder and hopefully find acceptable answers to by the end of this session. Is customer experience important in the B2B world? If yes, then what are the challenges the business face in delivering great customer experience to their business customers? And finally, how can CX be delivered despite all these challenges? We will try to unravel this as we move along. Here are some data for all of you to consider. As per the Harvard Business Review, cost of acquiring new customers is actually 5x to 25x of retaining existing customers. Number two, improving customer retention by just 5% increases profits anywhere between 25% and 95%. And more than 85% of customers are willing to pay more for a superior customer experience. 30% to 50% customers would increase the purchase frequency if they face a great CX experience. And finally, Forrester found out that over a period of 5 years, companies that focused on CX delivered a CAGR of 17%, while others which are less focused delivered just a paltry 3%. So the gap is enormous. Can I go to the next slide, please? So B2B companies have an average customer experience score of less than 50%, which is far lower than around 65 to 80% for the B2C companies. In fact, a Forrester study reveals that only 9% of the companies feel that they've created a superior customer experience to their competitors. And this represents a huge competitive opportunity for all of us to tap into. B2B customers are also individuals, and the superior CX in the B2C space is what they want to see replicated in their B2B experience. 80% of B2B buyers now expect, not wish or ask, but really expect the same buying experience as B2C customers, such as companies to interact with them in the real-time scenario. Meanwhile, a quarter wants to see the checkout and delivery speed they enjoy in the B2C online buying experience replicated into the B2B interactions with the companies. So that's the changing landscape. Can I move to the next slide, please? So again, if we come back to the main critical fundamental question, if CX is so critical and has such a positive impact on business, then what is stopping B2B companies from making it happen? Let's also unravel that as we move along. Can I go to the next slide, please? Let us look at the buyer and the influencers. In the B2B scenario, there's rarely one buyer. The average B2B transaction involves over 5 buyers. And the customer experience for each of these people can affect their likelihood to promote or block a sale, greatly increasing complexity in the overall relationship, a fundamental difference from B2C. Then the buyer and end user are usually different people. Like, for example, the procurement officer is really the end user of the products and services they procure. The buyer and the user have very little personal connection beyond organized feedback about the product and services. And lastly, the buying process is clinical, and the drivers of it are very different than a B2C. Can we go to the next slide, please? So in a B2B, the group of buyers usually has specific roles assigned to each person in the group. Like, for example, the accounting department controls the budget. The operation department controls the fulfillment. The IT does the integration. The C-suite invariably makes the final decision. So the challenge for the supplier company is to present a holistic brand across all these touch points and channels, but to do it in a way that is relevant for each player. For these reasons, B2B customer journeys tend to look like several parallel streams connected to key decisions or use cases, rather than a simple path to purchase in a B2C scenario. And friends, we really need to understand that and appreciate this, how this is very different from B2C. Can you go to the next slide, please? So B2B relationships involve long-term service arrangements, subscription services, upgrades, or continuous supply of consumables. If not, then B2B customers still viewed as accounts to be nurtured. In some cases, a good overall experience can overcome a mediocre product, and a poor experience can erode the advantage of a superior product considerably. So B2B customer experience typically extends well beyond the time of purchase. And this is a fundamental thing we need to be cognizant of. Can I go to the next slide? So we had a lot of theory. Let me change gears. Let me now take up a use case for you to be able to understand it much better. So while FedEx is available to individual consumers, the company profits mostly from a B2B revenue, delivering shipments for hundreds of thousands of businesses every day. As of 2018, FedEx was in the 12th place for the most financially successful B2B companies in the world. The companies didn't make this far by accident. FedEx is committed to customer experience, transparency, and open communication. One of the best ways a company can communicate with its customers is to close the loop or follow up with the customers to resolve the issues, give support, and respond to feedback. We are talking about the turnaround time. So according to Customer Gauge, companies that close the loop within 48 hours and 2 weeks see a minimum of 5.5% increase in the customer retention. This is really a very significant step, given that for 5% increase of customer retention, companies can increase profits by more than 25%. FedEx benefits from its good internal and external communications. One notable example is how the company recently revoked its newsletter production and execution. This illustrates an internal communication issue between the content teams, FedEx marketing team, and customer service. The company's decreased new content output from 80 to 20%, distributing the work between the two teams. Every level of the marketing department now participates in the creation and recycling of the content, leading to better internal communication around the newsletter, and in turn, better external communication with the customers. We see this kind of effective internal communication at FedEx in other areas as well. For example, the president of FedEx Canada, Lisa Lisson, frequently engages with the employees, crediting them with most of the successful ideas. Occasionally dropping in on the sales calls, Lisa is very familiar with work at the front line. Her participation and involvement in the employees at all levels boosts the morale, increases employee engagement, something that in turn influences productivity. This is very, very critical. I'll deal with it deeply in the subsequent slides. So FedEx delivers exceptional CX and continuously seeks new best practices for the company. Unafraid of making large-scale changes to the content, operations, and data sharing, FedEx is way ahead of the curve when it comes to communicating with the customers. That's a case study of FedEx, which I thought would highlight what I'm going to talk about in this. Can I go to the next slide, please? Another critical component is the play of technology. And this is a very, very critical component of all CX initiatives. As per Gartner, the top 5 emerging technologies which plays a very critical role in CX are the AI, customer assistants and chatbots, the entire omnichannel customer experience, the event-driven application architecture, and the IoT. And on the other side, we have something which is called Experience Data Platform, which is nothing but which gives you a 360-degree view of the customer experience and the sentiments with your brand. So the whole play of EDP can be classified into 3 bins. The first is Engage, which is basically data ingestion, either through solicited and unsolicited feedback, operational data, and observed behavior. The second one is Analyzing, the advanced data analytics, which is the play of AI, ML, and NLP. ML is machine learning, NLP is natural language processing. The real-time third is the ACT, which is the real-time dashboards for frontline execution as well as for the C-level suites. So one can generate a more personalized experience with this platform when the data you gather with the interaction is scooped back into the platform and the virtual cycle begins. Can I go to the next slide, please? Let us also realize and understand how COVID-19 has played a critical part. Because when we're talking about the new normal, we're talking about against the backdrop of the pandemic, we cannot ignore this particular aspect. So the recent shifts in the consumer behavior and expectations brought about by the pandemic are forcing companies to change how they connect with and serve customers. Those who cannot adjust to the next normal or the new normal will quickly be left behind. Navigating this uncertain middle ground, the constantly shifting conditions, and the unknown outcomes and the timeframes requires a balance of sensitivity and agility. The crisis is teaching us we should already know that we must understand and empathize first and sell second. The pandemic has thrown the spotlight on the human side of B2B customer experience. People remember the interactions they had with the company based on how they felt. And this is going to serve in very good stead when the pandemic is over. They will not forget those companies who has really helped them out during those crises. As per McKinsey, there is now a proven formula of executing customer experience transformations. It comprises specific steps of 3 building blocks: a rarely defined aspiration, an agile transformational approach, and a thoughtful deployment of new capabilities, particularly advanced analytics. I will cover this in detail in a subsequent slide. Can I go to the next slide, please? Let us now change gears and look at from a different lens. What about the experience of those who keep the business in business? What I'm referring to is your employees. In fact, your customer's experience actually begins from the inside out with your employees. We are seeing organizations put more focus and energy on the employee experience, empowering them to work efficiently and effectively. At the end of the day, they are the building blocks. One should not forget that. If you do not pay heed to the EX, what is going to happen? The disengaged and unhappy employees drag down the morale, productivity, and even the bottom line of the company. So what will the organizations do in such a scenario? 2 things. First, create a culture that empowers communication and enables collaboration. And second, celebrate and connect with the employees on a regular basis. Can I go to the next slide, please? I'm now going into the core of the presentation, okay? And here we're going to talk about is a super CX journey. So planning and implementing a super customer experience journey, which is on several pillars. CX is critical. CX has some challenges. Let's find ways to overcome them. And let's look at what are the main pillars of a CX in a B2B environment. Can I go to the next slide, please? So the first pillar is on commitment and consistency. Being enthusiastic about satisfying customers and making them feel valued. Providing an omnichannel experience, customers interact with companies through multiple channels in today's time, often to solve the same problem. And you need to be present in all those channels, and there has to be homogeneity in all those channels. Create online portal, smartphone apps, tablet apps that will allow connected information on customers and provide complete view of customer activity. Customers' experience starts with employee experience. When employees are engaged and empowered, they naturally want to provide better service to customers, as we have seen in the last slide. Can I go to the next slide, please? The second pillar, fulfillment and relevance, which is understanding and delivering on customer needs. Easier said than done. Customer demands are frequently diverse and increasingly demanding. More customized, more cost-effective, quicker turnaround, everything you can think of. Make sure the experience you offer to customers is relevant to them. What do they need? What do they expect? How do they want to communicate, shop, and interact with you? How do they want to access information? Sometimes we forget this fundamental. We keep on going with what we think is right instead of hearing them out. B2B companies are generally most successful when they gain an understanding of a specific customer's most pressing issues and needs from the very outset. Determine that the problem is important enough that the customer will commit to a solution, and from the design solution will gain consistency across the customer's buying group. Can I go to the next slide, please? So the third pillar, seamless and transparency. Across all virtual B2B markets, the top driver for overall satisfaction and loyalty is the ease of doing business with the supplier. Seamlessness is synonymous with simple, convenient, and hassle-free. Remove the friction as order aiders. Set up the right expectations to avoid disappointment or nasty surprises. Yeah, sure. Build trust at every interaction and acknowledge mistakes and be open about how you're handling them. Can I go to the next slide, please? 36% customers want efficiency in the purchase process. 43% have said they want quick solution to a problem. And 37% chose speed of responsiveness. So the key things are timely response, delivery, and resolution. Can I go to the next slide, please? Proactive companies are those capable of anticipating customer needs and desires and strive to resolve issues before the customer feels the pain. It is easier for companies to be proactive if they're good at fulfilling customer needs and can foresee potential customer needs and pain points. Easier said than done, but we have to be there. Time is customers' greatest resource. As we become accustomed to getting everything faster, instant responses, real-time updates, same day and even next hour delivery, we will have to be cognizant of the fast moving times and the early response to the customer demands. Can I go to the next slide, please? Continually seeking to improve the B2B customer experience. Review. Customer needs, behavior, and attitudes can change anytime, as can threats from competition and influence such as technology and legislation. That is where the react comes in. More receptive customers to evolution are those that are agile and open to applying design thinking. That is what reinvent comes in. And those willing to reinvent how customers interact with the company to re-engineer and transform the customer journey, that is where the play of redesign comes in. So the entire 4 cycles of evolution has to be imbibed by each company who wants to be at the peak of CX in a B2B. Can I go to the next slide, please? So 70% of customers are willing to spend more with the companies if they provide great customer support. Average B2B customer uses 6 different channels, such as in-person, reps, e-commerce sites over the course of the decision-making journey. And almost a third of the customers say that they will stop doing business with a brand they love after one bad CX. Frightening, but true. Can I go to the next slide, please? So a good CX aspiration delivers on company purpose and a brand promise. Companies that can translate aspirations to expected outcome values by defining the specific changes in customer behavior they expect to see. Once they have prioritized the experience with the greatest potential impact on customer behavior, CX leaders identify the internal processes and technology capabilities they need to substantially remanaging them. Customer experience is a competitive advantage in the new normal. Only by committing to the 3 building blocks of a CX can companies expect to emerge from the crisis with a sustainable advantage over their competitors. Can I go to the penultimate slide? Yeah. So in summary, I'd like to call out some key aspects that would help in good state the B2B companies in the new normal. 1, CX is the single most differentiator for all businesses in years to come. 2, enhancing CX wide perception and digital experience to end technology stack and platform. 3, emotional engagement among employees produce high customer engagement. And the last one, always drive the customer experience quotient for positive business outcomes. Can you go to the next slide, please? I would like to close the session with one idea of Choji Kuramoto-san. Choji Kuramoto-san was the CEO of Uniqlo. In his CEO cabin, on one of his walls, this quote was distinctly visible for many decades. And this has really sunk with me. This is ancient merchant wisdom in Japan on CX as EX, so relevant in today's time and would be in the future also. So 3 basic foundations of good business. Stores exist for customer, that is customer centricity. Stores prosper with store staff, that is employee experience. And third, stores perish with store managers, that is leadership and management matters. Universal truth so well depicted. So thanks a ton for giving me a patient hearing. I'm truly grateful for being such a wonderful audience. I'm leaving behind my coordinates. Would be happy to discuss further on this subject or anything of mutual interest. Take good care of yourself, stay safe and stay healthy. Thanks once again. Bye.